Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you the books I'm giving to my friends and family this holiday season. So if you're a family member, or Izzy, Elena, Maddie, or Katie, don't watch this video. I think of all those people, my dad and Eleanor are the only ones who watch with any regularity. So hi guys, and go away. I read a lot more than anyone I'm close to, so I take my job as their personal book recommender very seriously. Any book that I gift them could be one of like 10 or maybe 15 books that that person reads all year. So let's start with my parents. I got my mom the novel A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. This is about a Japanese-American teenager who writes in a diary, and years later that diary washes up on shore and is found by a Japanese-American writer. My mom works part-time in an elementary school. She volunteers a lot. She cooks and bakes a ton. Like, she's a busy woman. And at the end of a long day, she can't afford to read a book that takes like 50 pages to warm up and get good, you know? So this one gripped me from the very first page. The narrative voice is compulsively readable and the story is beautiful, so I hope my mom agrees. Then I have a joint book from my parents, When Breath Becomes Air by Kalanithi. I've heard so many rave things about this that even though I haven't read it myself, I feel pretty confident gifting it. Kalanithi was a neurosurgeon who was diagnosed with terminal cancer at the age of 36. And in this book, he asks, how do we live in the face of death? It's short, which is intentional, because for his birthday and for Christmas last year, I gave my dad 2 bake books, and he hasn't finished either, and he feels like he failed, which he did, but feeling like a failure never encouraged anyone to read more, so hopefully we have better luck with this one. Also, my parents are both just getting more sentimental as they get older. All the emotions are being pulled closer to the surface, so I have a feeling this will wreck them, but like in a profound, I'm glad I read that kind of way. Then for my dad, I also picked up Lost in Translation, an illustrated compendium of untranslatable words from around the world by Ella Francis Sanders. My dad just loves words in general. He's the kind of person who uses like shibboleth and milk toast in everyday conversation, so I thought he'd get a kick out of this one. My older sister has a crazy consulting job and basically has to schedule time to breathe, let alone read. But she does make exceptions for nonfiction books that she thinks are relevant to her life goals, and she's passionate about feminism and women's rights. So I got her Girls Will Be Girls, Dressing Up, Playing Parts, and Daring to Act Differently by Emer O'Toole. This is a nonfiction book about gender roles, and I've heard it's really funny and smart. And even though she basically doesn't read fiction anymore, I couldn't resist giving her a novel, so I chose Americanah by Chimamanda and Ngozi Adichie. Adichie is like in the center of the Venn diagram of well-acclaimed young novelists, buzzy feminists, and Africans who have made it big in Europe and America. So I'm hoping all those factors will convince her to give this a try. Plus, it's a great read. My older brother is a flight officer in the Navy, so say it with me now. He doesn't have much time to read. Are you seeing a pattern here? But he's a science, technically minded, I've read Stephen Hawking kind of guy. So I got him Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. I read this earlier this year and was blown away by it, and I think my brother's gonna have the same reaction. And then because I only got him 1 book and he just bought a house, I also got him a housewarming gift. It's a candle. Isn't that funny? What a great idea for a business. Like, just dump candles in old beer bottles and you can make crazy profits because they're awesome. Last of my immediate family is my twin brother. I got 2 books for him, the first of which is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is partly selfish because I really want to get him into Hobb's books. Growing up, we read all the same fantasy series and had conversations about them, and I need to talk about Hobb's books with someone. And I could make a video review, but it's not the same as being like, what did you think of this character or this plot point? And it's been a long time since I felt the need to have such an in-depth personal conversation about a book, but I feel that way about some of Hobb's. So I just need to get him through the Farseer trilogy so that he can experience the dopeness that is the Live Ship Traders trilogy. And then I also got him the novel All That Man Is by David Szalay. This is about 9 different European men of all ages confronting different life issues. I read this because it was shortlisted for the Booker last year and thought it was great. It's really well written. And there are moments that when I think about them, like still pierce me. But even as I was reading it, I was like, this is okay for me, but this is a Dan book. Sometimes I just get that feeling. The same thing happened with Days Without End by Sebastian Barry. My brother likes Hemingway, you guys. Like, he enjoyed The Old Man and the Sea. That's what I'm working with. So we'll see how good my Dan radar actually is. It's going to be put to the test. For my friends Izzy, Elena, and Maddie, I got them all Margaret the First by Danielle Dutton. It's ridiculously good, and I want to shove it into the hands of every brilliant woman in my life. And then for Izzy, I also got the nonfiction book Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson about America's unjust criminal justice system. I haven't read this yet. I plan to next year. I've just heard so many amazing things, and I'm pretty confident I'm going to love it. Izzy knows a lot about this topic and has read other books on the subject, and her parents are both lawyers who have firsthand experience of these specific problems in our criminal justice system. For Elena, I also picked up the novel The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. This is a dark, whimsical book about Montreal orphans during the Great Depression, and prostitution, and drug use, and clown shows. Elena's an actress studying in London, and she has studied clowning in the past, so I think she'd really like those sections. It's a gamble to gift this one, because O'Neill's style is so particular, and it's very hit or miss with people, but I loved it, so we'll see if Elena does too. For my friend Katie, who's a tax lawyer, I decided she needed some fun in her life, so I got her Hyperbole and a Half by Allie Brosh, which is a graphic memoir that I love to pieces. It captures a specific kind of neuroticism and low-key self-loathing that I very much identify with, and I think Katie will too. We grew up next door to each other, so we've somewhat influenced each other's personalities. And then for people like Katie and Maddie who are getting one book, I also got them these slouchy beanies that are so cute. I mean, hang on, I'm gonna model for you. This is what they look like, and the slouchy part hangs down at the back. I got one for myself too, and I've been pre-filming, so you should be seeing a video in your feeds soon with me wearing my own version of this hat. But they're so comfortable and like soft and warm, and they really easily cover your ears. So I ordered more for more friends, and I'll leave the link below if any of you are interested. They have like a million colors. So that's it. Let me know if there's like a specific book that you're really excited to give someone this holiday season. Are there people in your life who you gift books even though they might never read them? And are you also sort of the de facto book recommender for your friends and family? I'd be interested to hear about that. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.